All right, D2 section, San Diego section football predictions. Another 16 teams. We got some teams, some interesting groups, some interesting squads moving up, and some that have moved down. I think this year they got it right. CIF got it right with the teams that they've placed in Division 1 and Division 2. I never thought Granite Hills and Grossmont should have been in Division 1. I never thought La Jolla deserved to be in Division 1, even though they had a couple good years last year. Players come and go. Teams will have their years, but for the most part, I believe the teams such as Ramona, Granite Hills, Christian, Grossmont, La Jolla, and Mira Mesa all deserve to be in Division 2. That being said, there is one team on who I believe shouldn't be in Division 2, and that's San Diego High School. I don't understand why San Diego is in Division 2. Despite that, I don't think they're going to do too bad this year. I'm going to get in their prediction when I get to them, but I don't think they should be in Division 2. I believe they're a Division 3 team, but we'll see once they get to the playoffs. I'll throw Vista in there as well. Just two struggling teams, maybe on their way on a downward trend. Who knows? They may have a good year. They may turn some heads, turn things around, and prove me wrong. So that's all I want. So that is Division 2. So let's get into it. First team right off the bat, going to alphabetical order. We have Brawley High School out in the desert. 5,000 degrees. I have Brawley going 7-3. They have a good team year in and year out. I believe that those two teams, Brawley and Imperial, out in the desert, are the ones holding it down for Imperial County. They have the winning culture. They're good year in and year out. They have all the players in that area go to just a select amount of schools. But I have Brawley going 7-3. Pretty strong year. Some interesting games opening up with Scripps Ranch. They play University City, and they have a couple outer conference games. I have them going 7-3. One of the main teams that are probably going to end up in D2 championship contending talks. So we'll see how they go. 7-3. Next, we got Central High School. Central out in the desert. Spartans going 5-5 is my prediction. Some pretty tough games. They got Mount Carmel, Oceanside Ranch, and Granite Hills, as well as Modern Day. For them being in the league that they're in D2, I believe this is a pretty tough schedule, considering the amount of good teams that they're playing and having the best team in the county, in my opinion, Modern Day, playing them. So I have them going 5-5. Next up, we got Christian Patriots. Christian coming off of some mixed years in the recent years. Ever since their staff changed a couple years ago, they have not been the same. As that group of coaches being together for 2 decades has really left an imprint on the school, and them being a perennial winner. I have the Patriots going 4-6 this year. Got some tough matchups against Santa Fe Christian, Ramona, Granite Hills, and Mira Mesa. Some really, really tough teams. I have them beating Point Loma, Bishops, San Diego High School, and Patrick Henry. Those are their wins, and I have them. It'll be a tough one for them, but they'll be able to try and make some noise and rebound from a losing season in the playoffs, so we'll see. Next up, we got Granite Hills Eagles. I'm glad they moved down from Division 1. They had some good players. They got a large group of players to pick from with a big enrollment at the high school. However, they just don't have the amount of kids, and they're not able to retain really, really good kids, with a lot of people in the East County wanting to go to Steel Canyon or Helix. So I'm glad they moved on to D2. With that being said, they still have a real tough schedule, playing a lot of D1s that they played in the past with Oceanside, East Lake, Madison, and Helix and Steel. Gonna be another tough year, tough schedule. I have them going 5-5. I really don't have Granite going to make a big run into the playoffs, but they're able to compete, and they may, if they're able to win a couple of the games, which I think can go either way, such as a Steel Canyon or a possible East Lake. Even though I have East Lake winning, they may turn some heads, so we'll see. Next up, we have Grossmont Foothillers. Man, this is going to be a tough one. I got Grossmont coming out the gates, beating West Hills at home. And then I have them going on a 9-game losing streak. Grossmont has arguably, in my opinion, they have the toughest schedule in the county. El Camino, Warren High School, Los Angeles, Rancho Bernardo, Cajon, San Bernardino, Mira, Mesa, Poway, Granite, Helix, and Steel. I have them going 1-9. An unprecedented, tough year. Hopefully their coaches can schedule some teams that have a little bit better matchups in terms of ability and skill set. And in terms of what's going on internally at Grossmont, I heard it's not the greatest with their changes and the graduating seniors they had. Will be a rebuilding year. We'll see how they do. Next up, you got the Jolla Vikings. Has a pretty favorable schedule with a very weak outer conference schedule. However, we have them going 7-3. 7-3 prediction. Real soft teams playing El Capitan, Del Norte, Morse, Point Loma, Patrick Henry, San Diego High School. These are and Bishops, some really weak teams. We'll see how the returning players play for La Jolla. They had a really good quarterback and receiver that graduated and are going to big major Division I schools. We'll see who they can retain coming back, but maybe those players leaving might even out the playing field. We'll see. Who knows? 7-3 La Jolla. Next on the list, Division II, we got Mira Mesa Marauders. I have them going 6-4. Mira Mesa stays with having a very tough outer conference schedule, as well as some formidable opponents in their league with the city. However, I have them going 6-4. Tough games, tough losses in my opinion. Will go to Scripps, Madison. We got Helix, San Marcos, Otay Ranch. Some real tough games. However, they can win the latter part of their schedule. I believe they'll win all last 4 of their games against San Diego Christian, Patrick Henry, and La Jolla. I got Mira Mesa going 6-4. Next up, we got Mount Carmel Sun Devils. Mount Carmel seems to be flying under the radar always, but they have a very good, solid team. Drew Westling, their head coach, does a great job wherever school he's at. He's going to hold the helm down. I see Mount Carmel going 7-3. Got a pretty favorable schedule, playing Vista, Del Norte, Rancho Buena Vista, Patrick Henry, and Central. I think they'll be able to win a lot of those games, as well as Westview. Don't even get me started with Westview, how horrible they are this year and how they've been bad. But pretty favorable schedule. Have them going 7-3. Could make a legitimate run for the championship Division II. Have them going 7-3. Next up, Oceanside Pirates. Man, it is a very disappointing to see the downfall and the quality of players they're able to bring out these days. And I get it. A lot of these kids from these areas, these polys, are going to some much better schools. Hashtag Cathedral Catholic is taking all Oceanside's players. I got Oceanside going 1-9. It's a very unprecedented season once again, just like the Grossmont Foothillers, only getting 1 win. I believe that'll be from, I mean, they could really go 0-10 if you really look at it, but I believe their sole win will be against, let's say, their rival El Camino. I don't see them beating Granite Hills. I don't see them beating St. Augustine. I don't see them beating San Clemente, La Costa Canyon, Ramona, Carlsbad. Oceanside can very well go 0-10 this year. It's horrible to say. Just got to look to see if they can retain some better athletes, and they might be able to realistically steal 1 or 2 more games than what I'm predicting, but I got them 1-9, Oceanside. Otay Ranch Mustangs. I got Otay Ranch going 500 this year, splitting everything in half. They have some very easy opponents, which will make up all of their wins, and they have on the polar opposite very tough teams such as Helix, Madison, and Modern Day and Eastlake they have to deal with. That'll serve them their 5 losses. I got Otay Ranch going 500. Next up, got the Ramona Bulldogs. Ramona has been very impressive. They got a great head coach going out there, getting their kids right. Ramona community always coming together, supporting the kids. After that 0-10 season with Ramona really playing one of the toughest schedules and almost beating all of those teams but losing by very small margins a few years back, 0-10, they're on their revenge tour. They're looking very good, losing to Mater Dei last year in the D3 championship. Pretty close matchup. It wasn't a complete blowout, but Mater Dei, being a Division I caliber team, playing Ramona at that stage shows a lot of promise to the Bulldogs this year. I have them going 7-3. I have them pretty much sweeping all of their opponents that they're supposed to play in their league, such as San Pasqual, Valley Center, Escondido, and Fallbrook. They're playing a very tough Madison, Poway, and Cathedral, whom I believe that will serve them their 3 losses. Ramona 7-3. We got San Diego High School coming up next, whom I believe should be playing Division III, but depending on how they do this year will determine if they're going to stay in this division or if they'll drop down. There's no way that they're moving up based on their trajectory of the amount of players and the type of personnel that they're receiving to come out for their football team. Very, very weak opponents whom they're playing, but I guess that is just the tradition on who they play. They're playing a very weak Kearney, Patrick Henry, Westview, Mission Bay, and a Vincent Memorial Division 5 school. I have no idea why they're playing Vincent Memorial. I'm not the coach. I have them going 6-4 this year. They're going to win the games that they're going to win, and they're going to lose to the opponents, Oceanside Ranch, Mira Mesa, El Camino, Christian. I do not see them making a run at all in this playoff. They're going to probably lose in the first round. San Diego going 6-4. San Marcos Knights, they are the dark horse in my opinion for Division II. They have the best chances to make a very, very quiet run deep in the playoffs. The last couple of years they've been struggling, but they've been playing the best North County team, so I can't really get on them too bad for their performances playing La Costa Canyon and Carlsbad week in and week out. I have the Knights going 6-4 with some really good wins and some upsets. I have San Marcos making the most upsets this year. I have them beating a Torrey Pines at home. I have them possibly stealing one against Mission Hills at away. So I have San Marcos playing some good football this year. 6-4, legit chance at making a championship run this year. Next, Santa Fe Christian Eagles. To go along with San Diego High School with the easiest schedules, I have Santa Fe Christian. If I said that San Diego had the easiest schedule, if I said San Diego High School had the easiest schedule, I take that back. Santa Fe Christian has the easiest schedule in the league. Not only in the league, but in the county. I have them going 10-0. Nothing against Santa Fe Christian. They're a great team, but the teams that they're playing this year are awful. They're going to beat Valley Center. They're going to beat Fallbrook. They're going to beat Francis Parker. They're going to beat Southwest El Centro. They're going to beat Escondido Charter. They're going to beat O'Farrell Charter. They're going to beat Orange Glen, LJCD, and Bishops. I have Santa Fe Christian going 10-0. Next up, Valley Center. The Jaguars out in the middle of nowhere. Valley Center, California. I have them going 5-5. Some very interesting mix of teams here with some great North County opponents such as Mount Carmel, La Costa Canyon, but they're also playing the lower end Fallbrooks of the world and the Rancho Buena Vistas and the Escondidos of the world. Split it down to half. They're going to win the games that they win, and they're going to lose the games they're supposed to. 5-5 Valley Center. Last but not least, we got the Vista Panthers. Vista just on a downward trend, just like a lot of these other public schools, losing players to a lot of really good schools in their other leagues and other conferences in the area. I have Vista going 3-7. Really not looking good these days when I'm watching them on film and I'm watching them through highlights. They just look like they're much smaller. They don't have any big kids and they don't really have any marquee guys. 3-7. They're going to play some lower end teams such as a San Diego High, a Del Norte, and a Westview. I have them winning those few games. And then the rest of their teams on the schedule are pretty good. We're talking Poway, La Costa Canyon, Rancho Bernardo, Carlsbad. Very, very tough schedule. They're amongst the teams that have one of the toughest schedules. I have them going 3-7. Championship prediction for Division 2, I have Ramona Bulldogs winning over Santa Fe Christian Eagles. Ramona was very, very impressive to me. They're in the spot to be able to make a loud noise. They have the experience, they have the playoff experience, and they really have championship DNA based off of their history and their culture. They are the country El Cap team on steroids. They are what El Cap dreams of. El Cap will never be there, but they have a very, very good team. Had a very good showing last year in the D3 championship against Modern Day. They moved up. Doesn't matter the caliber of teams that they play. Working with the D1s that they play year in and year out is going to really help them get to where they need to be to make a big playoff run. If everyone stays healthy, Santa Fe Christian, I believe, is going to make their run with their weak schedule, beating the team that they need to beat leading up to everything. I have Ramona beating Santa Fe Christian for the Division II San Diego Section Championship. It's my prediction.